Hey everyone, RedyTAY here again with another attempt at a solo Pokemon challenge. This time, we are seeing how well Snorlax fares in a solo run in Pokemon Red. I also know that some of you who are watching are thinking, why is this a challenge? Snorlax is a beast. Well yes, you are right there when you look at the stats. He is sitting in good company with Gyarados, Kingdra, Magmortar, Electivire, and Melodic, with all of them having the same base stat total. Clearly you can tell HP and attack are the best thing about Snorlax when you look at its stats individually. I am well aware that this is probably not going to be the hardest challenge. Of course I'm going to go through a challenge with another normal type, so the moveset is not that impressive, but much more hard hitting compared to Sentret. Also like Sentret, we have another impressive TM listing with a lot of type variety. And as some of you have probably noticed, I get some of these way before Lavender Town, so I am not worried about the ghosts at all. There are several reasons why I'm going this route for this being my next challenge. One being that I never actually used a Snorlax in a run before. I always caught them like you usually do in Gen 1, but I usually already had my team laid out by that point of the game, so Snorlax didn't quite make the cut. Second reason is, even though Snorlax can be a solid Pokemon, I am curious how well it stands out in a solo run. Basic rules first, I can only use Snorlax throughout the whole game. HM Pokemon can be used however to get around. No cheats or hacks are used to advance, and I'm going to follow the trend where no items can be used in battle. I am expecting this run to be on the easy side, and I'm not expecting a lot of brick walls throughout the challenge. That being said, I don't think this will be a complete cakewalk. I am looking forward to some unexpected surprising challenges to pop up along the way. This may be more an experiment than a challenge. Let's get started. Okay, we start out in a room, leave the house, go to tall grass, and get caught by Professor Oak and taken back to the lab so we can pick our starter. When setting up the game with the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, I programmed it so that a rival would have Squirtle or Blastoise as its starter. None of the options really have a type effectiveness against Snorlax, so I decided to see how Snorlax will fare against the Pokemon Blue mascot. Also, please note how I picked Snorlax and the text goes, wow, this Pokemon is really energetic. No, it's a Snorlax. It's the opposite of energetic. I named my Snorlax Trouton. We will see if anyone can make that connection. Anyway, we start to head out for a journey, but we are of course stopped by our rival for a battle. I don't know which is more glaringly obvious, the little damage we took from Squirtle's tackle, or the massive amount of damage we dealt with Headbutt. Regardless, this was definitely one of the fastest first rival battles I've ever done. Stat-wise, this is pretty much what I expected. Loving the HP, loving the attack, but that speed? No boy. I mean again, I expected low, and I am really curious how low it will be by the end of the run. The real stat I'm curious to see as the game progresses is how many critical hits I will have throughout the game. In Gen 1, as most of you know, critical hits are based on your Pokemon's base speed. As you can imagine, Snorlax is not excelling in that area. If anyone feels like it, leave a comment on this video before watching further with your guess on how many critical hits we will land before the end of the game. Also, when it comes to starting moves, this is well above an average starting lineup. As we clearly just saw, Headbutt is leagues better than Tackle. Amnesia is a broken move in Gen 1 because it boosts your Pokemon's special stat, and since in this game there isn't a split on special attack and special defense, like future generations, it can cause quite a boost in one turn. It can also become even more OP once you accidentally trip the badge boost glitch, which if you don't know what that is, we will possibly talk about that a little bit later on. And then the last move we are starting with is Rest, a healing move that also puts us to sleep for a couple turns. Frankly, this is a great start, and it's good that it is because we won't see Trouton get a new move until level 35. Anyway, we run the errands you usually do at the start of the game, go to Viridian City, pick up the package, and go back to deliver it to Professor Oak. We then get the Pokedex and town map and finally get started on our adventure. Battling a wild Pokemon isn't going about how you expect. We spam Headbutt, and usually it's a 2-turn battle. I'm going to try to use Amnesia sparingly in this challenge. I mean, I know I can use it since it is there, but I think it will make the game easier than what it already looks like it's going to be. I decided to give another attempt at battling a rival by meeting up for the optimal rival fight near Victory Road. I'm just going to cut to the chase and point out that we lost though. As you can see from the footage, Sand Attack really did cause some real unfortunate accuracy luck, and we wasted several turns missing Headbutt while we took some damage from some gusts from Pidgey. When Squirtle comes out, we are not looking horrible, but still, we missed some Headbutts that ultimately go down because even though I was setting up a rest on the last turn, I forgot how slow we are and Trouton is outsped and taken out by one last bubble. Well, this loss is completely on me, but it is a learning experience and some of the flaws that come with Snorlax. Going into my second attempt, and this time I'm actually at level 5. I was still feeling confident going in, but then Pidgey spams a lot of sand attacks, like an aggressively annoying level. We were able to connect and cause some damage with Headbutt, but our HP was getting low in the process. I was smart this time and set up a rest for Trout to fully heal. We eventually wake up, having taken some damage from Gus while asleep, and continue to miss Headbutt. That is when I made another rookie mistake. We ran out of power points for Headbutt. Well, I decided we can try to get to struggling to see how that goes. Doesn't matter though, because I set up another rest to heal, but we get taken down with another gust. Okay, my stubbornness might get the better of me someday, but I'm going to give this one more try before deciding I need to grind. The third attempt dealt with Pidgey starting with Gust instead of Sand Attack. Because of that, we were able to hit our first Headbutt. Pidgey did spam some Sand Attacks, but our accuracy luck was much better than the previous 2 attempts. Pidgey went down quickly and then came out Squirtle. Squirtle dealt some Tail Whips and Bubbles. We might have missed a Headbutt some, but we were still able to land our hits and take out Squirtle and win our second rival battle. I have a feeling I'm going to hate that Pidgey as we advance throughout the game. Even though that probably wasn't my best gameplay, the section did show some holes in Snorlax's playing style and it was humbling to say the least. I'm going to progress through the Viridian Forest and see how we grow from there. Luckily, the journey through the Viridian Forest went very smoothly. We got some level ups from it, and fortunately never got poisoned by any of the Weedles that we battled. I know we might be underprepared, but I'm going to jump into battling Brock and see how things go as we try to get our first gym badge of this run. I did battle the trainer at the gym before battling Brock and didn't feel like healing up before this battle. The trainer started with Diglett. We traded a couple scratches and headbutts before it goes down. Out next was Sandshrew, which just spams Sand Attack. It caused one of our headbutts to miss, but it soon went down just like Diglett. Now it's time to face Brock. He starts with Geodude, like usual. We land a headbutt, and then it starts with a defense scroll. We repeat that with another turn, and by the time we get to a third headbutt, the damage output has shrunk considerably. We take some damage from Geodude's tackle, but then the battle switches back to spamming defense scroll, and we try to take out Geodude with decreasing productivity. We did have some flinch luck with headbutt, but Geodude also landed a critical hit tackle, so it didn't matter too much. Then, as you all probably expected, Trout ran out of power points with us having 17 health left. You can probably tell by the pause that I was considering quitting the battle, but instead I decided to see if I could struggle this out. And so comes the very boring session of me wasting turn after turn after turn, using all my moves so that I can use struggle. I was balancing my rest usage for last so that I would be at the highest health I could be to spam struggle. Trout eventually gets to using up all his moves. It takes a while when you're wasting 2 turns of sleep for each rest, but it is abysmal. It's safe to say that we are dealing 1 damage while the recoil is worse than that. We do eventually get to take Geodude out with 24 health remaining. It shouldn't really come as a surprise that we didn't win in this matchup. Struggle isn't strong compared to Onix's defense, Screech lowers our defense, and we can prevent Onix from building power with its bide because we only have the option of spamming Struggle, an attacking move at this point. We eventually go down to a tackle. Okay, I got the message loud and clear from that battle. We can hold our own against them, we just need better attacks so we can take out Geodude quicker before it sets up too many defense scrolls, causing us to use up all our power points. I decided to grind up to level 12 before taking on Brock again. Mainly I focused on battling wild Pokemon in Viridian Forest. I did land a critical hit headbutt though. I wasn't recording at the time, so you'll have to trust me on this. This might be one of those if a tree falls in Viridian Forest and no one's around to hear it situations. Anyway, we get to level 12 and decide to have a rematch with Brock. It wasn't exactly the cleanest fight, but we did pull off the win. It helps that we open up the battle with a critical hit headbutt, number 2 by the way, that caused a flinch. The 2 extra levels is really helping with our damage output, and it doesn't hurt that Brock's game plan with Geodude is spamming tackle and not defense curl. Geodude goes down quicker than the last round, and out comes Onix. The battle started with some bad timing on my part. Didn't expect Onix to be faster than Snorlax, but it is, and it starts to bide. Drown lands a headbutt, and from there I spent 2 turns using up Amnesia when I really only needed to use 1. After Onix attacked with Bide, I attacked with another headbutt right when it started another Bide. We take damage from that one, and I decide to spam headbutt. This actually turned out to be a good idea considering Onix stopped using Bide, and we were able to deal some damage still. I soon decided, however, that it would probably be wise to use Rest and heal up, which was the best idea because Brock decided to have Onix use Bide while Tron was asleep. We woke up, I badly timed how many amnesias we needed to ruin Bide. What is wrong with me? And then the battle wrapped up with our Headbutt taking out Onix while it was spamming Tackle. With the first badge now ours, we can now move onward to Mount Moon. Facing the trainers on the way to Mount Moon isn't bad at all. As you can see, that grinding might have been needed to beat Brock, but it's overkill against a lot of these trainers. On one hand, it's efficient only wasting one Headbutt per Pokemon, but the problem is we have to head back to Pewter City to heal Trouton by replenishing his power points for Headbutt. On the way back to Route 3, I bought some escape ropes from the mart. These are probably going to be a necessity for getting through Mount Moon. I'm going to hate retracing my steps and starting over on the path. We were going to do a lot of battling, and I don't want to be in situations where we have to struggle to get through a battle. Going through Mount Moon isn't too bad. I mean, yes, the Wild Zubat, Geodude, etc. can be annoying, but Headbutt is still clearing away every opponent in Team Rocket Grunt we come across. For those that are keeping count, Trouton also landed his third critical hit while in here. I left the cave about 2 times to replenish on Headbutt power points, but our health hardly went down in all these battles. Also, for those that were wondering, I did pick the Dome Fossil. I know some people are interested in that sort of thing. When we get to Cerulean City, we heal up and then go straight to battling our rival. First out is Pidgeotto, which starts the battle with a quick attack for little damage. Trouton deals a massive blow with Headbutt. The next turn is repeated with Pidgeotto feigning. Up next is Abra, which obviously fails to teleport and goes down to 1 Headbutt. RedyTAY also goes down with a single Headbutt, but not before dealing some damage with a Hyper Fang. Last out is Squirtle, who takes a lot of damage from Headbutt, deals some damage to us with Tackle, and then goes down to 1 more Headbutt. Well, that went smoothly. From here we face everyone on Nugget Bridge and the route north to Bill's house. Again, we are clearing the path with Headbutt, and we are heading back to the Focus Center for PowerPoint heal-ups in the middle. We actually landed critical hit number 4 and number 5 against an Onix, and critical hit number 6 and 7 popped up a couple battles later after that. An interesting takeaway I'm getting from this part of the play is our speed stat. I'm not so much surprised that I am faster than Geodude, Onix, or Slowpoke, but more in the fact that we are actually faster than a male and female Nidoran that is just a few levels lower than us. It might be more interesting than I thought to see how the evolution of our speed is compared to our opponent's speed as we progress throughout the game. When we get back to Cerulean after visiting Bill, I head straight to the Cerulean Gym to take on Misty. Out first is Staryu, who hits us first with a critical hit water gun, but 1 Headbutt is all that is needed to take it out. Starmie then comes out and Misty immediately applies an X-Defend. Because of that, Trouton's Headbutt does less than half damage. Starmie responds with a Bubble Beam, and then we take Starmie to almost a sliver with another Headbutt. We then take some significant damage from a critical hit Bubble Beam, and we finish the battle with 1 more Headbutt. We now have the TM4 Bubble Beam. I'm still going back and forth on teaching it to Trouton. It would help with the rock types that we get a little stalled on when we battle, and it would be nice to have another attacking move, but there might be other better TM options along the line that I might want to teach Trouton instead. Just something to think about. I am not in too much of a hurry to make a decision. I have plenty of time to think about it as we head to Vermilion and the SSN. Also, critical hit number 8 finished off the Rocket Grunt that stole the Dig TM. Battling on the SSN is another good area to level up and gain experience. It was also funny coming across 2 people on the cruise asking if I knew what a Snorlax is. Yeah, I might have heard of it. Critical hit number 9 and number 10 both occurred against passengers in the SSN. Basically, battling is feeling very repetitive, and it's been that way pretty much since the beginning of the game. We just headbutt over and over and over and over and over, healing in between to refill the attack. There hasn't been any strategy, and even though Snorlax is a slow leveler, we have clearly become overpowered in this run so far. I'm looking forward to getting Body Stun in 4 levels because even though it's another hard-hitting normal move, it will add a little bit of variety in battling. When it came to battling a rival, it was another smooth battle. Pidgeotto hit with a quick attack, Raticate messed up a Tail Whip, Kadabra disabled a Rest, thank god, and Wartortle was too slow to move first, and that is basically all there is to say because we swept each of our rivals' Pokemon with a single headbutt. We are now at level 31 when we are leaving the SSN, and now basically at the point where the Wild Sleeping Snorlaxes are in the game. That being said, I think I'm going to skip the Route 11 trainers and go straight to taking on Lieutenant Surge for our 3rd gym badge. I do decide to battle all the trainers in the gym though, so I don't have to deal with them as I find the switches in the trash cans. Speaking of which, it did take me a slightly annoying amount of time to get the trash can puzzle completed. Look, it's been a while since I've had to do this puzzle and I've always hated this challenge. Eventually we get to battling Surge though. Like our previous rival battle, we take out each of Lieutenant Surge's Pokemon with a single headbutt. We lost a little health from Voltorb's Sonic Boom, Pikachu's Quick Attack, and Raichu's Thunder Shock, but all in all, it was an easy battle and I was never worried about losing it. And with that taken care of, I decided that we should next take on our rival at Lavender Town and then get the 4th gym badge from Erica. Heading to Rock Tunnel wasn't too bad until I ran out of power points for Headbutt and accidentally ran into a trainer who won the battle as I was trying to get back to Cerulean City to heal up. As you've heard me say several times already in this turn, I'm starting the battle by getting all of Troun's power points down to 0 so we can use Struggle as an attacking move. So of course, a lot of sped up footage needs to be skipped because it really doesn't matter, because I heal with rest and neither Trout nor Rattata are being productive at this point in the moment. When we finally get to the point to use Struggle, we are able to one-shot Rattata with it. I do start to panic a little bit though when Diglett comes out. It's faster than us, and because of this, it digs on the ground, causing us to miss Struggle, and instead we take a good amount of damage from the second part of its dig. Our second attempt of Struggle does land though, and we take it out. But after the recoil damage is applied, I'm worried we don't have enough HP to last the rest of the battle. Fortunately, Ekans goes down with 1 Struggle, so that helps. Last out for this trainer is Sandshrew, and I'm going back to being a little nervous because I know this thing can be somewhat tanky. But I don't really have a choice though, so trying to use a Struggle, and one-shots it, with us winning the battle with 7 HP left. That was close. I heal up and get through the rest of the route. Before jumping into the Rock Tunnel, I decided to teach Snorlax Bubble Beam with the TM Misty gave us. I was giving it some thought, and I knew I would have to give Snorlax some sort of special move to progress. For a while I was thinking Thunderbolt or Psychic, but the real stalling battles deal with rock and ground types, so Electric would not be the best move choice, and Psychic would make this run even easier than it already is since we have Amnesia. I was also thinking of holding out and getting the Ice Beam TM once I get the Celadon, since that would also help with the ground types, and Lance's Dragons in the end. But I already gave my Center in the previous run an Ice move, so I should probably spice up the gameplay a little bit. I don't want to be a skipping record this early in my, quote, career, end quote, of Pokemon challenges. Bubble Beam seemed like the best move to help against Onix and Growlers we'll be facing soon, and will be an appropriate response for the upcoming ghost battles in Lavender Town. I am kicking myself a little bit for my indecisiveness in making this decision. I could have saved myself a lot of headache earlier in this run and not having to spam headbutt and worry about power points. Getting through Rock Tunnel is an easier task thanks to the addition of Bubble Beam and Gen 1 Darkness. Oh, it's so much better than Gen 2 Darkness. There is a lot of freedom now having another attacking move, especially against hikers. Also, after defeating one of the hikers, we get to level 35 and learn Body Slam. I teach it to Trout and he forgets Amnesia. I know some people will look at me like I'm crazy, but let's seriously see how the game goes without this overpowered move. Trust me, the way this game is going so far, I need a little bit more of a challenge. I know it might be too early to say, but this right here might be Trout's moveset for the remainder of the game. After we get to Lavender Town, I head straight to battling our rival. Pidgeotto wastes a turn with Whirlwind and we one-shot it with a Body Slam. Growlithe then goes down with a single Bubble Beam. Just like Pidgeotto, Execute also goes down to a Body Slam. Same with Kadabra, but not before also wasting a turn with Teleport. Meanwhile, Wartortle once again doesn't get a chance to attack and goes down to a Body Slam. A no damage sweep. I was hoping for a little bit more of a challenge from our rival here, honestly. From here we leave Lavender Town, skip most of the trainers along the way, and head straight to Celadon and to the Grass Gym. Drown gets critical hit number 11 against one of the trainers at the gym. The battle with Erica went well until her Vileplume made the fight a little close. Victory Bell is a common crit machine because of its speed and use of Razor Leaf, which is what it uses as an opening move. The crit took out 40 HP. Our Body Slam took it out though. Tangela goes down to similar fate. Last out is Vileplume, which we immediately hit with a headbutt and remove a large portion of its health. Trout then falls asleep due to Sleep Powder and takes a critical hit from Petal Dance. We wake up after a couple turns and continue to take damage from Petal Dance. With 38 health remaining, I decided to play conservative by using rest and going back to sleep. In the middle of the rest, Petal Dance ends, but not before hitting us one more time. From there, Vileplume uses a couple Mega Drains to heal up while we wake up and take it out with one more headbutt. With that, we now have half the gym badges, and I'm going to kick Team Rocket out of the game corner. It shouldn't be a surprise that the Team Rocket grunts don't really put up much of a fight in this portion of the game, if ever. Snorlax lands critical hit number 12 against the Team Rocket grunt. By the time we get to Giovanni, we are really low on power points for headbutt and body slam, but fortunately Bubble Beam makes short work of his team. Trout gets critical hit number 13 in that battle. Now that we have the Silph Scope, we have a lot of work to do to take Team Rocket down. I go ahead and give Eliminate to the guard so that we can get to Saffron now. Although there are Team Rocket grunts here too, I'm going to get back to Lavender Town and focus on the task at hand there first, and then move on to dealing with Silphco. Getting through Pokemon Tower was a fun change of pace in this run. As you probably assumed, we were forced to just stick with using Bubble Beam when it came to battling the Gaslight Hunters that the Channelers were using in battle. These battles were good indicators of what our special stat looks like at this point of the game. We are close to double the level of the ghosts we are fighting, and it still takes 2 shots of Bubble Beam to take them down. I'm aware that this could have been a different story if we still had Amnesia, but again, I wanted to make this a little bit of a challenge. And we are still in the situation where we have to be aware of how many power points we have, considering we only have one attacking move at this moment. When it came to taking out the grunts that are blocking us from getting to Mr. Fuji, we were able to switch back to Headbutt and Body Slam to take them out. Trouton got critical hit number 14 against a Chandler, number 15 against the Mother Marowak Ghost, and number 16 against a Team Rocket grunt. With us having the Poke Flute, it's time for me to try a little experiment in that I want to see how we do against the 2 wild Snorlaxes that you normally come across in the game. I know we are a little over 10 levels higher than them, but humor me. Okay, that was a little bit of a letdown. Also, look at the difference in the amount of damage dealt with Headbutt from level 30 and 43. So now we are at a little bit of a crossroads. I mean, the great thing about Gen 1 is that basically you can do almost any gym order you want, to an extent, to beat the game. For me, I was real by the book when it came to playing these games as a kid. The same could probably be said even today as an adult. And I would take the gyms on in the order they were suggested in the game. With the exception of I would deal with Team Rocket and Silphco, immediately battle Sabrina for the Marsh Badge, and then battle Koga and Fuchsia. I am basically on autopilot right now, and I want to go through my normal run routine, but I am wondering if this will make the whole Koga portion of the run more boring because we will be way over leveled by that point if we do Silphco and then Sabrina. Eventually, I decided to stick with taking on Team Rocket and Silphco, and it all came down to one singular reason: the 5th rival battle. We are already over leveled compared to this whole team, but barely. This could be a potentially interesting battle, and I'd like to see if he could do anything to potentially pull the upset. So we go through Silphco, trying to fight as few battles as we can. It's been a while since I've played this part, and I forgot what would be the best way to go straight to the rival battle in Giovanni, but I soon figured it out. We soon get to our rival and take him on. Like always, Pidgeot is out first and starts the battle with a quick attack. We respond with a headbutt that takes out about 3/4 of its health. Next round is spent with us repeating our moves, with us still standing after Pidgeot takes a second headbutt. Next is Growlithe, which is actually slower than Trouton and takes a lot of damage from our Bubble Beam. It hangs on, deals a takedown, and receives some recoil damage, but not enough to take it out. That's okay though, because one more Bubble Beam is more than enough to finish it. With Execute now out, we switch to Body Slam, which is enough to take it out with one hit. Alakazam goes down to the same fate, but not before using Recover at full health. All that is left is Blastoise. We attack first with Body Slam and take out about 2/3 of its health. Blastoise then sets up a withdrawal, but it is not enough of a defense buff and it goes down after our second Body Slam. Well, he got a little tougher. All that is left here is to take on Giovanni and free Saffron. Giovanni opens up the battle with a horn attack from Nidorino, while we respond with a Body Slam that takes it out. Kangaskhan is now out and does a weak 2-hit Comet Punch. We hit it with a Bubble Beam that lowers its speed, causing us to go first for the next round, where we use Bubble Beam again. Kangaskhan also repeats the previous turn with another 2-hit Comet Punch. We are still faster than Kangaskhan and finish it off with a Headbutt. Rhyhorn is then sent out, but goes down to one Bubble Beam. We stick with using Bubble Beam for Giovanni's last Pokemon, Nidoqueen, which does a lot of damage and lands a critical hit, but not before we get poisoned by her Poison Sting. Nidoqueen then hits us with one more Poison Sting before going down to her Headbutt. With that part of the Team Rocket storyline done, it's time to take on Sabrina and her sidekick Pokemon. Staying with our current trend of facing the fewest battlers I can, I double check and choose the tiles that take me to Sabrina the quickest while avoiding the trainers. When it comes to facing Sabrina, the whole battle is basically all our Pokemon being faster than Trouten, so they can use one move before being one-shot by us. We start the battle strong by one-shotting her Kadabra with Headbutt. We did take a little damage from Psybeam due to it being faster than us before it went down. Mr. Mime had a similar fate, but it managed to set up a light screen before going down. Yeah, that wasn't the best move there, Sabrina. Venomoth comes out, poisons us with Poison Powder, and also goes down to a single Headbutt. Last is Alakazam. It releases a slightly stronger Psybeam than Kadabra, and then goes down to a single Body Slam. Okay, now we can head to Fuchsia and take on Koga. I head straight to the gym once I get to Fuchsia and do my best to avoid trainers and head to Koga. The Koga battle goes rather smoothly. Coughing opens and just goes down to one Headbutt. With Mach now out, I decide to switch to Body Slam since it is more tanky and a Paralysis would be useful. Paralysis doesn't happen and it hangs on to set up a Minimize, raising its evasion. Because of this, our next Headbutt misses and we get hit with Sludge. Luckily, our next Headbutt connects and takes it out. Koga's second Coughing is now out and survives a Headbutt, but it flinches, so we are able to finish it with a second one. All that is left is Wheezing. I was going to stick with my Body Slam and Paralysis plan, but it is faster than us and Koga chooses Self-Destruct. We hang on with 60 HP remaining. Koga really underestimated our HP. Obviously any other Pokemon challenge would have had a different outcome if Wheezing did Self-Destruct, but here we survive and move on with the game. Now all I have left to do here is go through the Safari Zone and get the Surf and Strength HMs we need to progress further throughout the game. Okay, now we got both of those, we can head to Cinnabar Island and take on Blaine. I didn't feel like going through the Sea Foam Islands route south of Fuchsia, so instead I just flew to Pallet Town and surfed south from there. After again dodging all the trainers along the way and trying my best to get in and out of the mansion to get the key, we are now able to get to Blaine. I always forgot how small the item limit is in Gen 1. The amount of times this run that I've had to throw away or use a random item just to be able to grab a key item has been too much. Also, did you guys catch that when I used the escape rope to get out of the mansion, it took me directly to Fuchsia? At first I thought I would have to fly back to Pallet Town and surf down again, but the game gave me the option to fly to Cinnabar Island instead. That's weird because I thought you had to have visited the Poké Center up that area to fly there, and I hadn't yet if the escape rope took me to Fuchsia. I don't know, probably just another weird mechanic of this game. Anyway, I head into the gym and do my best to answer every riddle correctly to get directly to Blaine. Okay, you know what? I remember missing this question when I was younger because I was too literal with it. Caterpie, Metapod, then Butterfree. Yes, eventually it will evolve into Butterfree, but not before evolving into Metapod, which is what I think is the correct answer. I mean, look, I got all the other ones correct. Also, Game Freak, you better make a Team 28 one-hit KO rock move called Tombstoner. That'd be awesome. The battle with Blaine went how you would normally expect. We start the battle by dealing a lot of damage to Growlithe with Bubble Beam, and it hangs on and responds with an Ember. We survive obviously, and take it out with a critical Bubble Beam. Ponyta is faster than us and starts with a Tail Whip, and we continue to use Bubble Beam. It does a lot of damage and lowers Ponyta's speed, enough actually for us to go first in the next turn and take out Ponyta with Headbutt. We switch back to Bubble Beam when Rapidash comes out, but not before Blaine uses the Super Potion on his full health Pokemon. Classic Blaine. Rapidash then uses Tail Whip before going down to another critical hit Bubble Beam. Arcanine comes out and we take a decent chunk of our health from Fire Blast, while our Bubble Beam doesn't even take out half of its HP. Blaine then correctly uses a Super Potion to heal Arcanine. Our next Bubble Beam brings us close to where we were before Blaine used the Super Potion, but now we cause a speed drop, which is nice. We are now faster than Arcanine and our Bubble Beam deals enough damage to almost take it out. It hits us with another Fire Blast that burns us. We continue to stick with Bubble Beam and take it out with another critical hit. There were some major takeaways from this match. I mean, 3 critical hits in one battle, numbers 20, 21, number 22 by the way. Our special stat could be a little better since a super effective Bubble Beam did less damage than I was expecting in parts of that battle. I mean, I know it's not Stab, but still. But we were faster than Ponyta and Arcanine, both extremely fast Pokemon, and are a few levels lower than us. after a Bubble Beam lowered their speed down the stage. I feel like we're going to have a more leveled up match with Giovanni for the last gym badge, and geez, I hope so, because the Team Rocket leader never really had a good start in this whole run. We get to Viridian City, get a little lost in the gym maze, and take on Giovanni at the end. Rhyhorn goes down to one Bubble Beam. When Dugtrio comes out, I decide I should probably rest since I am at half health in this battle. Giovanni spent the next 2 turns giving Dugtrio a guard spec and setting up a dig. We then wake up, take some damage from dig, and then take out Dugtrio with a critical hit Bubble Beam. Nidoqueen comes out and lands a Poison Sting that doesn't poison us. We then hit it with 2 Bubble Beams in a row due to a speed decrease. Nidoking goes down the same way. Last up is Rhydon, but 1 Bubble Beam is all that is needed to take it out. Yeah, that was the best I was going to get from Giovanni. We didn't even have to stress with him using Fissure and probably 1-hit KOing Trouton. We are now at level 52, and I think we're ready for another rival battle and a trip to Elite Four. Pidgeot starts with Whirlwind? Dude, you're going to Elite Four, why are you starting a battle with Whirlwind? Anyway, we deal a significant piece of damage with Body Slam, and then take some damage from Wing Attack. 1 Headbutt took it out, and next up is Rhydon. As I'm sure you are all guessing, 1 Bubble Beam was enough to take it out. Growlithe hangs on from our Bubble Beam, hits us with Ember, and then goes down to a Headbutt. Execute takes a lot of damage from our Body Slam, gets healed by a potion, and ultimately taken out with a Headbutt. Alakazam comes out and again starts the battle with Recover. Again, I don't understand Gen 1 AI. Actually, I don't get most AI. We use Body Slam and take it out with 1 shot. We reach level 53 and are at the same level as our rival's Blastoise. It starts with Withdrawal, and we reply with a paralyzing Body Slam. I switch to having Trouton use Headbutt, which causes Blastoise to flinch. We repeat the next turn, bring Blastoise down to Sliver while it bites us. We land 1 more Headbutt, taking out Blastoise and clearing us a path to Victory Road. That was probably the worst executed battle the rival put up in this run. It's weird how I struggled at this same spot with our rival's Pidgey here at the beginning of the game, and now we just flattened them. Going through Victory Road wasn't bad. Again, I'm skipping all the trainers here. I will go back and find him if we need a grind, but I'm really curious how we fare against the Elite Four at Trouton's current level. I don't really know which one will be the bigger challenge. Lorelei does have some high defense Pokemon, and freezing could definitely end our run. Bruno and Agatha both have a type advantage, but I'm hoping our HP and having a non-normal move makes up for that. And then Lance could just be brutal with his dragons. I'm excited for these next 5 battles, they could be really interesting. So let's heal up, buy some healing items, and get started. First up, like I said, is Lorelei. She opens up the battle with a Dugong that uses Takedown. We respond with Body Slam. We are about to land a finishing blow when Dugong uses Rest to heal. Touche. We land 2 Headbutts that take out a lot of Dugong's HP, but soon Lorelei uses the Super Potion. It doesn't heal enough, and another Body Slam by us takes it out. Next out is Cloyster, and I am concerned about our damage output against this thing, considering it has the highest defense in the game. We were dealing less damage than I was expecting against Dugong. A new fear was realized though when I saw how much damage we were taking from Clamp. We took damage turn after turn before it switched to hitting us 4 times with Spike Cannon. I was trying to set up Rest when Cloyster dealt the finishing blow by knocking us out with Aurora Beam. I thought Cloyster would stall me, but not in me. Let's give this another run. Okay, as I'm writing this rematch, I knew it was going to be lengthy, but I didn't realize it was going to be an almost 2-page battle. It has been a long time since I've had a battle go on and turn into a marathon like this. This was a beating for sure. The second run starts similar to the first one, with Dugong starting with Takedown and Trouton using Body Slam. But then things took a turn with Dugong using Growl. Well, this isn't good. We were already kind of lacking in the attack stat against Cloyster, we really can't afford for it to get any lower. We then use Body Slam to take Dugong to low health. Lorelei uses Super Potion to heal up. We use a Headbutt to again bring Dugong to low health, and Lorelei again uses a Super Potion. We use another Headbutt to bring Dugong to low health. Dugong uses Rest. The next 3 moves consist of Trouton using Headbutt to bring Dugong back to where it was before resting, just to have it wake up and rest again. We repeat this process again, with Dugong waking up in low health. This time, instead of using Rest, Dugong uses Growl and lowers our attack stat. Again. We take out Dugong with 1 more Headbutt, but not without knowing that Lorelei sacrificed her Dugong so that our attack power is extremely outmatched by Cloyster's defense. With Cloyster now out, we land a couple of body slams while it misses a supersonic and starts a clamp. We do get lucky though, and that Cloyster's clamp soon misses, and we are able to land a body slam that paralyzes it. We take some damage from Spike Cannon, and then bring Cloyster to low health just to have Lorelei use another super potion. We repeat the process again, with us bringing one of Lorelei's Pokemon to low health just to have her use another super potion. At this point, I decided to just switch to spamming Headbutt. It was really effective since we had back-to-back flinching, and the third one took out Cloyster. Slowbro is now out, and I'm switching to spamming Body Slam for some paralysis luck. During that time, he uses Water Gun, Growl, and Withdrawal. And Lorelei really had a game plan for this battle for sure. Our attack stat must be looking abysmal right now. I start spamming Headbutt again, and Slowbro is still using a combination of Withdrawal and Growl. Our damage output is not great here obviously, but we finally get Slowpoke to low health. Only to have Lorelei use another super potion. We are back to trying to whittle down Slowbro's health. We got fortunate though with some flinching from Headbutt and paralyzing it with Body Slam, but despite the new status condition, Lorelei uses another super potion. Okay, back to spamming Headbutt and Body Slam while we keep getting hit with Growl. Well, I only used each move one more time actually. Power points for those two moves are now officially depleted. Guess the only other option we have is to use Bubble Beam. I was pleasantly surprised though to see how much damage Bubble Beam caused, but it also just goes to show just how pathetic our attack is at this point. We continue using Bubble Beam and eventually take out Slowpoke for good, but not before he uses one more Growl on us. Up next is Jinx, and we are still at the spot where we can only use Bubble Beam if we want to attack. While we are doing that, we take damage from a Body Slam and a critical hit Ice Punch, taking us to 10 health. Because of that, I use Rest to heal Trouten up. He takes some damage from Double Slap while we are asleep, wake up, get hit with another Double Slap and an Ice Punch, but eventually take out Jinx with Bubble Beam. All that is left is Lapras. But I don't know if we can pull off the win. It starts with a Body Slam, and we return with a very weak Bubble Beam. We repeat the next turn with the same moves, but after that, Lapras starts dealing more damage with Blizzard. We take damage from Hydro Pump and Blizzard while we are asleep, so by the time we wake up, we are in the perfect spot for Lapras to finish us off with one more Blizzard. Okay, well at least we know what the problem is. We are going to go back to Victory Road, battle the trainer so we can level up and boost our attack. We have finally met an opponent that has a sturdy enough defense to stall us and make us run out of moves. After grinding against Victory Road trainers, we are now at level 55, and I realized that I never shared Trouten stats at level 50 or before our first Elite Four attempt, so here y'all go at level 55. For Snorlax, that speed is almost nice. I'm never going to complain about that HP and attack. I'm hoping our special made a nice enough jump to hold up against Lorelei's Ice and Water attacks. We really only went up 2 levels, but I'm still going to give this a go. Again, the battle starts with Dugong, using Takedown. We stick with Body Slam and luckily paralyze Dugong. From here, one Headbutt was enough to take Dugong out. Cloyster comes out and starts off strong with a critical hit Clamp. It eventually switches over to using Aurora Beam, which frees us up to use Body Slam. It sticks us with a 5-hit Spike Cannon. Our next Body Slam paralyzes Cloyster. Just like Dugong, we finish it with a Headbutt from there. When Slowbro comes out, I make Trouten heal up with Rest. Slowbro spends that time using Amnesia to buff up its special. When we wake up, it starts using Withdrawal to raise its defense. We are still having better damage output compared to the last time we were in this spot, especially with that critical hit Body Slam there. Jinx is now out, but it's really taken out with a single Body Slam. I am loving this lack of attack lowering moves. We are in a much better spot now against Lapras. It misses its Hydro Pump, and our Body Slam takes out half its health and paralyzes it. The Headbutt we follow up with causes a lot of damage, and flinching gives us an opportunity to hit Lapras one more time with Headbutt and win the battle. Wow, we did it. Albeit we got some fortunate paralysis luck, and it really helped Hydro Pump miss, but I'll take it. Up next is Bruno, which I don't know what to expect. Yes, Trouten is weak to fighting, but at the same time Cintra owns Bruno and Silver, and Snorlax is much better off here. Here we go. Out first is Onyx, which starts off with Rage. We just take it out with one Bubble Beam. Hitmonchan comes out, gets an X Defend, and then loses about half its health with Body Slam. We take a little damage from Mega Punch, and one more Body Slam takes it out. Hitmonlee is next and also gets an X defend. Our Body Slam does more damage this time around, but everything is shattered when Hitmonlee lands a critical high jump kick that just destroys us. That was a major critical hit. Let's give this another go. Onix again goes down to another Bubble Beam. Hitmonchan comes out, gets an X defend, but goes down to a critical hit Body Slam. Hitmonlee comes out and takes out almost half our health with a critical hit Mega Kick. Our non-critical Body Slam, however, was strong enough to take it out. Bruno's second Onix comes out, but still goes down to Bubble Beam just like the first one. Last up is Machamp, which actually doesn't even attack us. Drown takes out half of its health with Body Slam. Bruno gives it an X defend. We use another Body Slam to take out a third of its health. Bruno gives it another X defend. We then just finish the battle with Headbutt. That went better, but wait, my Snorlax is one level below Machamp and is faster than it? That's kind of weird. Agatha is going to do everything she can to make this battle interesting because it most likely won't be. I only have one choice here, and that's spamming Bubble Beam to get through most of her Pokemon. Let's see how this goes. First out is Gengar, and at least I know how much damage it will deal if it sticks with Nightshade. What I wasn't expecting was how little damage Bubble Beam is dealing. We then get put to sleep with Hypnosis, take some damage from Nightshade, then take a massive hit from Dream Eater while Gengar is fully healed from what little damage we did earlier. The rest of the battle goes like that, and we quickly go down while being asleep. Oh boy, Houston, we have a problem. I knew rest was going to be a dicey move throughout the battle because we are leaving ourselves exposed to Dream Eater, but I thought Bubble Beam was going to deal more damage than that. I am half tempted to leave, go to Saffron, and get the team for Psychic to replace Bubble Beam. Let's give this another go. Just like last time, Agatha starts with Gengar. This time it starts with missing Hypnosis while we use Bubble Beam. The next Hypnosis hits though and puts us to sleep. We then spend a long time asleep, taking damage like we did in this last battle. Gengar did confuse us with Confuse Ray during this and did waste another turn trying to do it again. By the time we wake up, we have lost over half our health and Agatha switched to Golbat. It starts by using Confuse Ray. Dude, I'm already confused. Despite that, we are able to land a Headbutt to take out a little over half of Golbat's health. It then uses Haze. We land a second Headbutt and take out Golbat, and Gengar comes back out. It uses a Dream Eater while we are still awake. And we of course stick with Bubble Beam. We get reconfused with another Confuse Ray, take damage, and then land in red health with Gengar's Nightshade. We're able to use one more Bubble Beam, lowering Gengar's speed, which gives us another turn to attack, but instead we hurt ourselves in confusion and end the battle. Yeah, we were going to Saffron. Okay, back to Agatha with Psychic. Gengar starts the battle by missing Hypnosis. Our opening Psychic takes out almost half its health and lowers its special. Gengar then switches to using Nightshade, and we follow up by finishing out with another Psychic. Golbat comes out using Haze. We respond with Headbutt. Another Haze, another Headbutt, and Golbat goes down. Honor is now out, and Agatha sticks with her Dream Eater while the opponent's Pokemon are awake plan. Psychic takes out a little over half of its health, and then responds by using Dream Eater again. Yeah, we put it out of its misery by using Psychic. Arctic follows us, and then bites. We use Body Slam for a lot of damage, get bitten again, and finish it off with Headbutt. Last out is another Gengar. We only have 2 Psychics remaining because I used the move against Bruno trying to get back into this battle. Gengar wastes time by trying to use Dream Eater, and our Psychic hits, taking out a little over a third of its health. There is a special drop from that, but I don't know if it is enough to take Gengar out with the last Psychic we have remaining. Well, here goes nothing. But not before getting confused by Confuse Ray and taking Confusion and Nightshade damage. We eventually get around to using our last Psychic, and it deals massive damage, but leaves Gengar still standing with a sliver. Gosh dang it, 1 health and I can't attack from here. Okay, I'm going to replenish Snorlax Psychic power points so we're at full this time and repeat this battle. Gengar starts off with Nightshade and we respond with Psychic. We repeat the next turn with the same moves. This time though, 2 Sidekicks is not enough to take out Gengar, and it is left with a sliver, which is enough for it to use Hypnosis. While we are asleep, Agatha uses a Super Potion to heal Gengar, but it doesn't matter because soon we go down to Nightshades and Dream Eaters. After many attempts, we finally got the win. This has by far been the most frustrating part of the run. We've had some of the worst sleep and confusion luck I've ever seen, and even though the AI threw us a lot of bones with Haunter and Gengar doing Dream Eater while Trouten was awake, we still couldn't pull off the win. Eventually, we did get attempts where we were able to pull out the win. It helps that Gengar starts with Dream Eater, and we take out half of its health with Psychic. Agatha smarts up and switches over to Nightshade. Another Psychic hits, but is enough to take out Gengar. Agatha heals up Gengar with a Super Potion before we take it back down to Sliver with another Psychic. Gengar then puts us to sleep with Hypnosis. We then get hit with a Confuse Ray, wake up, and Agatha uses another Super Potion. We follow up by taking Confusion damage and Nightshade damage. We are able to get another Psychic out though, and this time it is enough to take out Gengar. With Golbat now out, I try to take the opportunity to heal up with Rest, considering it can't attack us with Dream Eater here, but we hurt ourselves in the process because of Confusion. Despite that, Golbat uses Confuse Ray and Supersonic against us to no avail. To add insult to its injury, we snapped out of Confusion right after and were able to fully heal up with Rest. But AI Agatha, that's what I'm going to call her from now on, is smarter than that and switches out Golbat for Haunter and confuses us while we are asleep. We soon wake up, trying to use Psychic, but Haunter's faster than us and puts us back to sleep with Hypnosis. Luckily though, Trouten wakes up the very next turn, but we take 55 damage from Nightshade and a little more from Confusion damage. The next turn goes the same way, followed by Agatha breaking the cycle but trying to use Dream Eater incorrectly again. We were fortunate to land a Psychic that takes out over half of Haunter's health and lowers its special. Immediately Agatha switches Haunter out for Golbat. Our Psychic doesn't hit Golbat though, due to us being confused. Golbat wastes a turn though with Confuse Ray and we snap out of Confusion. Trouten then deals massive damage and causes paralysis with Body Slam. I know we could easily take out Golbat with Headbutt, but I'm going to stick with healing Trouten up with another Rest. Golbat confuses us during that rest period, and because of that we do take some confusion damage. Our second attempt with Headbutt is a successful critical hit and Golbat goes down. The damage Haunter comes out and confuses us. I don't even remember us snapping out of confusion the first time. We were able though to still use Psychic and quickly take it out. Agatha then sends out Arbok, which uses Acid. A lot of A's there. Trouten responds with Body Slam and paralyzes Arbok. He's set up to use Headbutt. We set up to use Headbutt, but Agatha sends out her 60 level Gengar. Trouten hurts itself with Confusion, and then we get poisoned with Toxic. At least we snap out of Confusion shortly after. That's the silver lining. The non-silver lining is Trouten's Psychic only did a third in damage to this Gengar, and we get confused again with another Confusion Ray. We try for another Psychic, which is successful in lowering Gengar's special, and we then take some more damage from Confusion, /Poison, /Nightshade, and I realize at this point that I'm giving commentary on the wrong video. Well, I did all this writing now, and I'm not going to delete it. Besides, I think it shows just how monstrous of a task it is to beat Agatha. Okay, here's the real winning run. For the last time, Gengar comes out and hits us with Nightshade as we hit it with Psychic. It misses Hypnosis, and we take it down to red health with another Psychic. Gengar then uses Dream Eater incorrectly, and we finish it off with one more Psychic. Golbat comes out, then Golbat is switched out for Haunter, and our Body Slam fails against it. That's okay, because Haunter's Dream Eater also fails. Our Psychic does some good damage though. Haunter then puts us to sleep, just to have it switched out with Golbat, which confuses us, just to have that Golbat switched back out to Haunter, which attacks us. Oh AI Agatha, you do know that you could have saved some turns here by not going through with all that switching, right? We soon wake up and take out Haunter with another Psychic. Golbat comes back out, hits us with a wing attack, followed by us taking some confusion damage. I decide to heal up with Rest. I'm starting to lose track of when Trouten is confused versus when he's not, because Golbat confuses us during Rest and I thought Trouten was already confused. We wake up and hit Golbat with Body Slam. Our finishing move gets interrupted though due to confusion damage. Our next turn though allows us to finish Golbat off with Headbutt. Arbok goes out, gets hit with Body Slam, healed by a Super Potion, and ultimately goes down to Headbutt. The level 60 Gengar is now out, and our Psychic deals more damage than the last run. The special drop is appreciated as well. Gengar ends its run, like a lot of Agatha's battles, with an incorrectly used Dream Eater as we use one more Psychic that is powerful enough to take it out. The way the Leaf 4 has been going, I'm not looking forward to Lance, but here we go. Healing up and diving in. Lance starts with Gyarados, which opens up with a Hydro Pump. Our responding Body Slam does more damage. Gyarados then fails a Leer and goes down to Headbutt. The first Dragonair then comes out and hits Trout with a Slam. Again, our Body Slam is better. While we try to finish it off with a Headbutt, Lance heals Dragonair to full health with a Hyper Potion. One Headbutt still does a lot of damage though, and one more Headbutt is enough to take it out, but not before taking 40 damage from Dragon Rage. The second Dragonair is now out and it hits us with a Hyper Beam. We reciprocate with a Body Slam that brings its health down to a similar level and paralyzes it. Because of that, we are able to get another Headbutt in to take it out. The takedown Lance's Aerodactyl starts with takes us down to 13 health. Good thing I decided to use Rest. We take some significant damage from Bite, but luckily Aerodactyl's Supersonic misses while Trouten is asleep. We wake up and flinch by another Bite, and then get hit with another Hyper Beam. Trouten then uses Sidekick, which leads to a critical hit. We rest back up while Aerodactyl goes back to hitting us with Hyper Beam. It hits us with another one when we wake up, and we finish it off with a Body Slam. Last time for Lance's Dragonite, it misses Slam while our Body Slam takes out half of its health. It then sets up a barrier. I know Body Slam is going to be weaker now, but I decided to stick with it on the off chance of paralysis. Well, we look at that. With that taken care of, I switched to using Sidekick because our special isn't affected. It takes Dragonite down to red and drops its special. From there, all that is needed is one more Sidekick from Trouten, and we have beaten the Elite Four. Wow, Lance goes down in one go. All that is left is a rival battle, so let's jump in. First out is the same old Pidgeot with the same old Whirlwind. Our Body Slam does significant damage though. Trouten takes a little damage from Wing Attack and misses a Headbutt, and Pidgeot feels bad about that, so uses another Whirlwind to make Trouten feel better. Our next attempted Headbutt took Pidgeot out. Alakazam is now out and starts with Sidekick. Now we are the ones with the special drop. Body Slam is still an excellent choice and takes out Alakazam in one hit. I was hoping Sidekick was going to do more damage with Rhydon now out, but I forgot about our special drop. We dodge a Horn Drill and then use Sidekick, causing a special drop. We then miss another Horn Drill and then land another Sidekick, and now Rhydon is in low health. We take a little damage from Fury attacks and finish Rhydon off with some Headbutts. Arcanine comes out of the gate, hitting us with a takedown. We reciprocate with a stronger Body Slam. Arcanine's next takedown misses, and Trouten starts to use Rest. While we are asleep, we take some damage from Ember and are unaffected by Roar. We wake up and have our defense lowered by Leer. Despite that, we take down Arcanine with Headbutt. Executor also takes a lot of damage from Body Slam before hitting us 2 times with Barrage. One Headbutt is all that is needed to take it out though. All that is left is Blastoise. It deals a lot of damage with Blizzard, while our Body Slam does a little bit less than half of its health. We get hit with another Blizzard and reciprocate with a critical Sidekick. Unfortunately, our health is too low and we do go down the next turn by Bite. Okay, that's fair, close battle, and the run would be boring if we swept the rival like we have the majority of the game. Second attempt coming up. Pidgeot starts with Wing Attack, and we stick with Body Slam. Pidgeot then uses Whirlwind. Baby steps, Pidgeot. Baby steps. We take it out with a Headbutt. Alakazam starts with Psychic again, no special drop this time, and we finish the exchange with Body Slam again. This time with Rhydon, I decided to start with Body Slam to see if we can get some paralysis luck. We didn't, and it did very little damage. To add some urgency, we dodge another Horn Drill. Okay, let's just get this thing down with Psychic. A couple of Sidekicks and a Headbutt do the trick, but not before a defense drop from Tail Whip. Arcanine does a little damage with Ember as we switch to using Body Slam. We soon take it out with Headbutt. We go back to Body Slam for Executor, taking half of its health. It then puts us to sleep with Hypnosis. From there it hits us with Barrage a couple times and then takes us out with Stomp. Well, that one even worse. Okay, after some of those rough ending battles we get this really weird one. It is such a weird mix of bad AI and sheer luck. Pidgeot started the battle with an absolute curveball by using Mirror Move. I haven't even done a single attack yet. Chill. I start with Body Slam, now I've done a move, and finish it off with Headbutt because it wasted a turn using Whirlwind. Alakazam opens up with Recover, again at full health, and we use Body Slam to knock it into no health. Rhydon takes a third of its health and damage and a special drop from Sidekick as we continue to dodge Horn Drill. We land another Sidekick with another special drop while dodging Fury Attack. critical headbutt ends this matchup. Arcanine is now out and sticking with Takedown as its opener. Our Body Slam still does significant damage. Another Takedown and Body Slam, and Trouton comes out on top. Executor puts us to sleep right away with Hypnosis. We take damage from Stomp and Mirage while we're asleep. We then wake up, dodge another Hypnosis, and land a Body Slam. Our Headbutt is not strong enough to take Executor out, but we are able to set up a rest. We take some damage from Executor, but eventually we hit it with one more Headbutt and it goes down. All that is left is Blastoise, which starts the battle with a critical hit bite. Body Slam only takes out a little less than half its health. I decided to switch to Psychic, and I'm glad that I did because Blastoise starts to use Withdrawal to boost defense, while Psychic causes Blastoise Special to drop. I'm starting to worry that Trouton's health is too low, so I set up another rest. Only to have Blastoise hit a critical hit Hydro Pump that brings Trouton's health close to where it was before we used rest. Blastoise uses another Hydro Pump, and I thought this would be the end, but it does considerably less damage than the other one. Trouton wakes up, and I decide to stick with the offensive and just go down swinging. Blastoise sets up a withdrawal, and we hit it with Psychic, taking it down to Sliver. This is where a higher speed stat would be ideal. Instead, Blastoise goes first, and misses Blizzard. For the 100th time this game, we finish the matchup with Headbutt. And once again, we are Pokemon champions. But we aren't done yet. I want to see how we fare with Mewtwo before calling this run complete. So we're heading to Cerulean and on our way to battle Mewtwo. It took many attempts to beat Mewtwo. He can easily one-shot Snorlax with a critical Psychic, and trust me, that happened a lot. I tried several attempts trying to beat him with Psychic in hopes of it eventually being strong enough after causing some special drops. It sounded like somewhat of a good idea when Mewtwo sets up 2 or 3 barriers and our physical moves were diminished significantly. But even with one battle where I got real lucky with 4 special drops, Trouton's Psychic wasn't making a huge difference. One major bullet point in my game plan for every attempt was to spam Body Slam until Mewtwo was paralyzed. The speed advantage was nice, but it wasn't a guarantee that we would win. In our final battle of the game, we were able to paralyze Mewtwo with our first Body Slam. Another Body Slam left it with only a third of its health remaining, and it was unable to attack due to paralysis. Another Body Slam took it to a Sliver as it set up a barrier. With that, we take Mewtwo down with a Headbutt. I really don't know why I evolved into using Headbutt as my end move in all these battles. This was a very black and white, night and day run. We had a rough start, but not in the way you usually expect when starting a challenge. Very rarely do you have such overpowered stats at the start, and that was a major blessing. But we had to get used to only having 15 power points for our only attacking move. It did take a while getting used to that handicap, but once we gained some steam, we started barreling through all our challengers relatively easy. Should I not have skipped so many trainers so we could have been at a higher level for Elite Four? Yeah, probably. And I can't tell if it's because I did that whole stretch in one setting, but that felt like a real challenge there at the end. The majority of the game really did feel more like an experiment than a challenge, but Elite Four really did make this run challenging and honestly a lot of fun. Thanks for tuning in for this video, and for those that are keeping count, the total number of critical hits for this run was 30. I really didn't think it would get that high. Next challenge will be attempting to beat Pokemon Sapphire with only one meta type. Another example of me trying to beat the game with a Pokemon I have never used. Should be interesting with that type combo, and the fact that I'm actually not going to use a normal type this time. Again, thanks for watching, and please feel free to leave a comment on your thoughts and suggestions for future challenges. Also, subscribing is never a bad idea. Anyway, until next time, Geronimo.